Hi there, a very warm welcome to BYJU'S exam prep channel that is dedicated to your success as an aspirant. And I hope that your preparation is moving along smoothly. So we normally go ahead and talk about a lot of practice sessions, right? But then in between, we thought that we were also receiving the feedback. I constantly ask you guys if you need some special session, then do let me know and all that, all that. So we received certain question types where people had challenges and worries. So remember last Sunday we talked about para jumble. The Sunday before that we again picked up another paragraph based question. And today we are going to pick up another, which I personally believe to be a very crucial, a very important question type, and that is that is main idea of the passage. So fairly important questions actually for us. So for those of you who are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and of course don't forget to press the bell icon as well. And once again, for those who are new here, my name is Vikrant. I am your personal coach for all things related to English and communication skills. I bring my 22 years of experience into making your preparation better, into making your results higher. So let's go ahead and talk about how we can master the main idea questions. So the question is, there are these certain questions that you get in reading comprehension. Questions like, what is the main idea of the passage? What is the central theme of the passage? What is the key argument that is presented in this particular passage? Which of the following gives you the crux of the passage? Which of the following is the best summary of the passage? And occasionally they may even talk about things like what is the primary purpose of the passage, which is quite similar or quite close in terms of approach and ability to main idea questions. So if you are somebody whose accuracy rate has not really been all that great in these question types, then this is a session which will help you immensely. Why am I not able to see your chat? Okay, now I'm able to. Oh, so Sonali, Angela, Sai, Vaishnav, Nishant, Pratik, great, terrific. Vaishnav says, sir, if we cracked CAT with good percentile, can we meet you? Vaishnav, you've gone through critical reasoning, right? So there is a question type that we talk about, and that's called assumption. You are assuming that you need a great percentile to meet me. You are assuming that my love and affection and care for you is dependent on your CAT percentile, which is not at all true. Whenever you are in Delhi, reach out, and if that's one of those days when my schedule's free, we can meet. Or if you let me know, if you coordinate with me in advance, just drop in and then we can definitely plan. So it is independent of your score. Whenever you are around, I'd be more than happy to host you. Shri, arey, nice to see you too. Where is this other Sonali? Haven't seen her in a while. Okay, so if your accuracy rate is an issue in any of these particular question types, then this session will help you quite a bit. So what exactly do we mean by main idea or central theme? Go ahead, drop it in the comment box. Tell me what you think the main idea is. And let me preempt some of these things. So when I say preempt, what I mean is that there are some normal answers that I anyway receive. So the normal answers are answers like it's the gist, it is the summary. Yes, it is, but then all of these options still remain in the domain of something that is abstract. Can you make it a little more concrete? Vaishnav is saying she's Sakshi. Sir, who is Sakshi? The other Sonali's real name is Sakshi. Yeah. And even more weirdly / importantly, how do you know that? What's going on here that I don't know? So what is your take on main idea or central theme? So see, whenever we sit down to talk to someone else, there is a primary message, there is a key thing that we want to transmit or transfer. That key thing may or may not be stated clearly, stated explicitly. Okay, so let's have a look. What if I tell you certain things? Let me give you certain instructions. So here is the beginning. So perform an inspection of the aircraft before getting in. Locate the flight control. Locate the throttle and fuel mixture controls. Locate the landing gear controls. Place your feet on the rudder paddles. Get permission to take off. Adjust the flaps. You know those wings have those flaps to the proper angle for takeoff. Start the takeoff run. Once you reach that desired speed, pull back on the yoke. You've seen that thing that a lot of movies show. Pull back on the yoke at this point, and this I can go ahead and continue this even further. Now tell me something. If I share all these things with you, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to do? See, I am trying to teach you how to fly a plane. So you notice when you go through these things, you know that, oh, the key idea is to enable you to fly a plane. Or instead of this, if I start saying that, okay, hey, you should give 25 minutes to your reading every day, attempt 10 RC passages every week, 10 LR sets every week, identify chapters in all the 3 sections. So normally when we look at the syllabus can be divided into chapters and skills. So skills are things that you work on every day. Chapters are like finite projects where you have a start date and an end date, and once you're done with that chapter, you can move over to the next chapter. On the other hand, when it comes to skills, there is no end date. So identify chapters in all the 3 sections. Additionally, make sure that you write a mock every 10 days and then conduct a thorough analysis of that mock, and then evaluate your performance, find out pointers for further improvement, roll out that plan, blah, blah, blah. So what am I trying to do? This time around, the main idea, the key thought is how to prepare for the CAT. So this is just an overview. By the way, we are organizing 2 really important high impact sessions for you over the course of next couple of weeks. I will tell you about those sessions at the end of our class, where you can get more of these details. So you notice in the 2 examples that I offered to you, the main idea was not explicit. I did not tell you what I'm going to teach you. I did not tell you what the set of bullet points are about, but if you read them, you'd notice that there is a common theme that emerges. So there are some passages where the theme is explicit. So what are those passages? When you look at say an article published in a journal, or when you read a research paper, these are places where the main idea is usually given in the very first paragraph itself. They tell you that, hey, this is what we plan to do here, or this is what we studied, and you'd see the results in this article. But normally the main idea is not explicit, it is implicit, it is hidden. In fact, there are situations, there are contexts where the main idea can be at times reliant on or dependent on the context. I have gone through it so many times in my life where I ended up breaking something in my household, a glass, a plate, some chinaware. The moment that happens, I hear a sound, and that sound is तोड़ दे और तोड़ दे, बाकी की प्लेटें भी तोड़ दे. And then there is a rant that starts. It's usually my mother who does that. So although she's saying, break the rest of the chinaware as well, go ahead, throw them from the balcony. What is the main idea there? What's the main idea? Does she want me to break them? No, the main idea is, hey, be more careful with my utensils and chinaware, right? So there are times when the passage can actually go ahead and state the opposite of what the author actually wants to say, if the author is being sarcastic. So you notice that context, that tone, all of that needs to be kept in mind in order to zero in on the right answer. So these are the kind of things that play a role when it comes to the main idea question. So here is my way of mastering the main idea, how I approach it. But before I do that, there are a couple of questions that we need to talk about that have been there in the comment box for a while. Vaishnav, is practice of RC different from VA or blah blah blah? Okay, so first up, I talked about Vaishnav, I talked about chapters and skills, right? So RC is predominantly a skill. The VA section is predominantly predominantly an area that can be divided into chapters. Now, if I look at it in terms of hierarchy, I'd say it is a ladder, right? So when we say VA, what do we even mean by it? If you look at it technically, this is how the ladder would probably look like. And let me just skip what I've written here and take you to the next level, and that is logic or reasoning. So the entire English, the foundation there is logic. If you're not good at logic, you'd struggle to answer a lot of other questions. Then vocabulary and grammar are more of knowledge based areas. RC is more of a skill based area, and then whatever, anything that cannot be fit into these four boxes of logic, vocabulary, grammar and RC, exclusively we fit it into this fifth block. So the truth is, when it comes to excelling at those verbal ability questions, the kind of skill set that you require comes from the other areas. You just apply that skill set there, or you just apply that knowledge there. So you predominantly need to acquire knowledge and skills from the areas down below, and then focus more on techniques. So treat them as chapters, so it's different in terms of strategy and tactics. Then we have Prateek. What do I think about Masters Union School of Business? Okay, so Prateek, I live in Delhi. This school is in Gurgaon. So the deal is Masters Union, and my information could be a little outdated. I haven't been tracking it for the last 7-8 months. But first up, see, I believe all the colleges are good. Okay, but what is good for you and what is good for someone else, that's subjective, right? So when the college started, if my memory serves me right, okay, so this is caveat, they started with a batch size of 60. They brought in a lot of CXOs from quite a few big companies. Those CXOs came and taught these guys. So CEO here, CEO, CTO, CMO, CFO from some big companies, they came and taught, and as a result, Masters Union happened to have a really close, mutually beneficial association with these organizations, and it was very, very easy as a result for them to place these 60 odd guys. However, I think in the last year or so, now the batch size has increased significantly. Once again, if my memory serves me right, I could be wrong. I think the batch size now is 180 or maybe even higher. So now is the time when they are entering that zone where the college's ability to place people will be really tested. 60 is easy. 120, okay, still doable. 180, now the college really needs to prove its mettle and its industry contacts and the strength of the limited alumni network that it has gone on to build. So let us see how that shapes up. So that's where it stands as of now. Okay, so I hope that helps. But once again, I'd like to reiterate, every college is good, but what you demand or what you expect from a college, that can vary from person to person, and therefore the final call is always subjective. Okay, so what I consider good may not be considered good by you or someone else. Oh damn, Prateek, you went on to delete the question. यार मुझे ऐसे ही बात करवा दी तूने, हैं? So see, let's see. Okay, so how to master the main idea question. So let's see. First up, please realize that at the end of the day, it is about comprehension. If you could not understand the passage, you are going to struggle with a lot of question types, including the main idea questions. So please make sure that you enhance your level of comprehension further if needed. Now, what do I mean by if needed? Just check your accuracy rate, man. Okay, particularly check your accuracy rate in idea restatement questions. So idea restatement questions are those questions where the examiner picks up a sentence from the passage, gives it to you in the question, and then asks what it means. So particularly here, this is a question type which tests your comprehension in a very pure, raw manner. So if your accuracy rate is less than 60% in this question type, then would you definitely need to work on enhancing your level of comprehension. How do you do that? Part of it is working on your vocabulary, and part of it is reading a lot of non-fiction with the intent of interpreting everything that you read. So that's point number one. Okay. There is this B school discussion that is happening. Okay, just wrap it up fast. I'll also weigh in. Another college is BYJU'S School of Management. Plenty of Shri in Delhi. I think in Delhi itself, when I say Delhi, I'm talking about Delhi NCR. We should have more than 350 accredited B schools. Plenty of them, right? FMS is okay. Imagine doing your MBA in less than 2 lakh rupees and then getting access to an alumni network where you have founders and CEOs of some of the best companies in the country, where you're part of a WhatsApp group where you can reach out to those guys through that group. So FMS is crazy. So anyhow, so please enhance your level of comprehension and come back. Join me. Aaja. But with respect to FMS, one thing, since I'm an English teacher, I can brag a little about it. FMS gives extra weightage to your marks in VARC section. So your score in quant and your score in VARC, if that's the same, VARC will help you getting more marks in the final list in FMS. Okay. C. Can you ace CAT if you start preparing now? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. We still have more than 100 days, which I believe is doable, particularly if you're already skilled. Vaishnav, yes, in terms of ROI, TISS MA program in HR definitely competes, in fact is even better. Okay, so enhanced level of comprehension. Then next, whenever you read a passage, generate a mental overview of that passage. So at the end of that passage, you should have the key idea of every paragraph in your mind. Now, two things about it. Number one, it is a skill. So it improves through practice. So make sure that you pick up an editorial or a passage every day where you generate a mental overview of the passage. So by this mental overview, I essentially mean that at the end of that reading, you should know the subject matter of the passage, you should know the purpose of that passage, and you should have the key idea of every paragraph in your mind. So that's one. So it is a skill. Please make sure that you practice it every day. And the second thing about generating a mental overview of the passage is that when you do it, make sure that you are being very concise. So the key idea that you have in your mind cannot really be a very elaborate key idea. Try to capture that using as fewer words as possible, maybe even bullet points, because you're doing it mentally. It helps if you are concise. So let's work on this together, right? Divij says, I have a subscription of TOI where... Oh. Yeah. Okay, so we are talking about Times of India, right? So just open it, yeah. You'd find a page on your newspaper where you'd have a couple of shortish articles here which are written by the editor of the newspaper, along with maybe some largish articles where, and these are articles where the author has gone on to share the opinion. I don't read TOI, so I cannot refer to the page number, but I think it should be, it's generally a left-hand side page on your left-hand side page, left-hand side, it should be something like page number, around page number 9. Wait, otherwise, yeah, Google, please, I mean, Okay, so generate a mental overview of passage. Keep these two things in mind. Okay, so work with me. Let us go through a passage where I invite you to take out the key idea of every paragraph. Ready? Ready? Here you go. So please read this, take out the key idea, and then I will share my key idea of this paragraph with you. And we'll read the entire passage this way. Come on. Sharp. Sai, I am a little biased towards the Hindu and the Indian Express. Gautam, we are conducting a session on this very soon. I will be sharing the details with you towards the end of our lecture today. Sorry, it should be an even number page. Yes, Gautam. Left side pages are even. Right ones are odd. So it should be around page number 8 or maybe 10. I don't know. So done. Hey, put your key idea of the paragraph there in the comment box. Come on. Quick. So here is my take. If you ask me for the key idea, this is what I am going to say. Unionization is necessary to rebuild a more robust middle class in the US. So you notice what I want you to do. I'm just giving you a demo. So if I were to read this passage in the exam, the moment I'm done with the first paragraph, I'll have this in my mind. Okay, here is the next one. Once again, give me the key idea. And keep your fingers sharp, all warmed up. Okay, just the sooner you can do it, then type the key idea in the comment box. It's a smaller paragraph. I'm sure you can do it. Okay, nobody has given it yet. So Vedant, it was not about the world, it was about the US. Come on, guys, come on. Okay, Vedanta said the ball rolling. That's good. Here is my take. So this is our second paragraph. See this. Neither of our political parties see unions as a priority, and where R here basically means US. Okay. Along with that, there is these examples given of some Republicans. So that's what I meant by be concise. So when I say the key idea, it's the whole point is it'll help you in the main idea questions, plus in every other question type too. When you read the question, you need to refer to a part of the passage, right? So this will take you to the right part. This is a super ability. So you get this? Okay, here is a third paragraph for you. What is the key idea here? Come on, now people are warming up. So if you have not shared the key idea so far in the chat box, do it now. Read it, give me the key idea of the third paragraph. And you realize this practice will also help you with para summary questions. Ready? You've read it? Okay, even if you've not typed it, I hope you have it in your mind. Are we sure, Vedant? Look at the very first sentence. Acting on their own. Okay, but then it's pretty close. So this is what I'd say is the key idea here. So that's your third paragraph. Moving over to fourth. Here is the fourth one. What's the key idea here? Just read it, form it in your mind, and if you feel like, share it in the chat box. This is easy. This is easy. Sai, that's more of a comprehension issue then, right? And it's not a very difficult, as passages go, I would not call it a very difficult one. Okay, so here you go. The next one. Biden openly supports unionizing and took some relevant actions. So that's the key idea behind the fourth paragraph. Then here is the fifth one for you. There are 7 paragraphs in all in this particular passage. So we'll see. Ready? Okay, so here is my take. The NLRB funding dropped due to Republican opposition plus opposition from some Democrats too. Right? Deep sixth the measure means, okay, so to deep six, that's an idiom. To deep six something is to destroy something irretrievably, or to dispose of something irretrievably. So basically it's an informal expression to get rid of something, to destroy something in such a manner that you cannot even bring it back, is generally called deep six, to deep six something. So here is the next paragraph. Pretty smallish. This is the key idea. No support from parties plus rage and fear, opportunity for shady characters. You notice, in case you're wondering where the shady characters are, open invitation to demagogues and charlatans. Right? And this resulting fear and rage is right here. So that's the key idea, and here is the 7th and the last paragraph for you. Please read it once. Okay, so here is my take on the key idea of the 7th and the last paragraph. This current organizing of workers offers hope, media and politicians should help. Now you notice, when I read a passage, at the end of it, I've trained myself to ensure that at the end of that reading, I have all these things in my mind. And the moment you look at it, you realize after this, if I go to solve a main idea question, will that question trouble me? Will that question bother me? No, sir, not at all. If my comprehension levels are good, if my vocabulary is sound, I don't see a reason why I will not get the main idea question right if I have this in my mind. And see, that is why I end up getting a great percentile in the VARC section. You know, that's how I've managed to get 100% and 100 percentile in the VARC section, right? So just train yourself, and the day you get that right is the day when you start sailing through. So this ability will help you a lot in RC. This ability will also make you really amazing at para summary questions. So that's basically like 18 out of 24 questions where you are absolutely solid. Okay, so have this mental overview of the passage in your mind by the time you are done reading it. And after that, what do? The moment I see that main idea question, I break main idea into two smaller components, and here are those two components. So I don't think of main idea directly. I think of what the subject matter of the passage is and what is the purpose behind that passage, or in case the passage had an opinion, what was the opinion of the author on that subject matter. So I think of these two things before I start going to the answer choices, and when I go to every answer choice, I am not looking for the correct option. I am looking for the wrong options, or in other words, I use the elimination approach. So the correct answer may not even be the absolute best answer. Okay, it may not even be the absolute best answer. Perhaps if I ask you to write a main idea, maybe you can do a better job. But then at the end of the day, it is all about choosing the best option among the four that are presented to us in the exam. So here is a passage for you. Let's practice this bit together. This passage has been taken from CAT 2017. Let's attempt it. And mind you, once you start reading it, try to generate that mental overview. Okay, just keep the key idea of every paragraph in your mind in as few words as possible. There you go. Start. Let me know once you are done reading this paragraph. Ritik, this strategy will work if the examiner gives you an entire article from start to finish, which is usually not the case. In fact, if you look at last year's exam, half of the passages were actually extracts taken from books. So you just picked up 4 paragraphs of an article. So this may or may not work. It is not going to be a foolproof strategy, and we want something that is foolproof. Okay, moving over to the next. Fantastic, Vedant. That's nice. Ready to move on? There you go. So this, the second paragraph was split into 2. It was a really lengthy paragraph. So Is this what a cell phone is doing to you? Has your cell phone made you more narcissistic? Have you become an awful troll? Let's hope not. Okay, next. So I'm giving you a little more time because I also want you to come up with that key idea, right? So here are two finished paragraphs, complete paragraphs on a single slide. And there'll be just one more paragraph after this slide for you, and then we'd look at the question. Vedant, because it is a part of the same paragraph, you can actually add it to your previous point that has iPhone also succeeded in doing that. And that would round it off nicely. Ready to move on? Okay, here is the last paragraph. Okay, now there is going to be a main idea question, and I told you how I approach it. The moment I see a main idea question, I break it down into two things. I think of the subject matter of the passage, so subject matter basically means, hey, what is this passage about? So what do you think what the passage is about? You notice in this passage, the author has compared iPhone with some of those other technologies from the past that have been very impactful in changing the course of the history of mankind, right? So the author is comparing iPhone with the other impactful inventions of the past to see whether iPhone is as impactful or not. And along with that, the second thing that we think of is the opinion. In this passage, we do have an opinion, so think of the opinion. So what is the opinion? Has iPhone managed to do that? I think this slide itself gives you the answer. The author is not sure. The author says that, okay, people like Steve Jobs, Tim Cook, etc. say great things, but then I'm not sure if it is as impactful a tech, right? So here is the question that was asked in CAT 2017. Which one of these four answers would you choose? Sri, that depends, yaar. I mean, the difficulty level changes every year. So now that we've gone through it carefully, we've looked at even those two key things. You realize, let's look at A. Some advantages. Has the author talked about advantages? No. So rule it out. Look at D. People spend more time daydreaming. This contradicts the passage. People have in fact started spending less time daydreaming because of the phone. So D is also ruled out. So very easy, because now you're left with B and C. So between the two, I think it's very easy to choose option B. And all of you actually did that. So you notice, once you develop the requisite competence, once you use the right technique of looking at every paragraph, taking out the key idea, and then thinking of the subject matter plus that opinion, the main idea questions become a cakewalk. If you do struggle with these even afterwards, make sure that you keep practicing with me. I do bring in a lot of passages, etc. on this channel for us to work together on. And when I look at those passages, I'd be able to show you how we can eliminate the answer choices even more effectively. Okay, so this is about the main idea questions. Here is something that I wanted to leave you with. It's one of those quotes that has been my absolute favorites. It is not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog. So it's not about where you come from and what your background is and how hard you've studied till date. No, all of those things are irrelevant. The only thing that matters is how badly you want to succeed and how much of an effort you want to exert. So for more practice, you can head over to BYJU'S Exam Prep app. Besides, we have also launched our test series, which gives you some really stellar benefits. And you remember I was talking about some strategy sessions that we are bringing for you? Those strategy sessions can help you get these great results. So one of the ways of getting the great results is, of course, through our batch. But then, and to make it easier, we are actually giving you a 3-day free trial too. But then we are also organizing 2 really special sessions. The first one is happening on 30th of July at 11 a.m. So a couple of you asked in the chat box, sir, what my strategy should be, how do I get great scores? Well, this is a session where Srinivas sir will tell you how you can build a plan that can take you to that elite group of top 1% test takers. Get a 99 percentile. Additionally, the second session is taken by, it will be taken by GB on 6th of August at 11 a.m. where we'd give you a 100-day strategy for the CAT 23. Okay, so both of these sessions combined will make it the road ahead very, very clear for you. So don't forget to register for these and attend those sessions. And if you enjoyed working with me, hey, do show some love. Okay, press that like button and don't forget to share and subscribe. Okay, so that's it from me today. We are conducting an All India Open Mock on 11th of in this window of 11th of August to 20th August. Okay, so it'll be followed by a very detailed analysis you can actually see. So don't forget to register for this as well. Baaki sab to dekha jayega, but this is something which is absolutely mandatory for each one of you. Make sure that you do register for it and let me know in our next session together. So that's it from me today. Until I see you next, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch. Keep working hard, keep telling me the question types that you have a problem with or the areas that you're struggling with and we keep bringing all those relevant sessions to take care of your specific challenges, your specific issues. Okay? So enjoy your day until we meet next.